What is up, guys? We are back. It's your boy Effie with Any Action Sportscast here to go over UFC Seattle and also to go over USA versus Canada in the Four Nations final going down in about an hour from now. It's going to be the biggest hockey game in the last 20 years. I can't wait for that game. I have a huge bet on that game. I can't wait to talk about it. But for now, we're going to start the stream off with our UFC picks. It's going to be a quick rundown of who I'm picking on this card. The UFC Seattle took a lot of hits, man, a lot of cancellations, a lot of mixed up fights. But the back half of the card is actually really good, man. The first couple fights are a little bit sloppy, a little bit lower level fighters, in my opinion. But as the card goes, I really think it picks up. So I'm going to make it quick. And yeah, man, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys my UFC picks. My boy Saba in the house says, yo, 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 what's up, Saba? Shout out to my boy out in Europe, man. Boys out here watching my stream out in Europe. That's what's up. That's my homie Saba. Damn, you ready for this Canadian USA game, man? It's gonna be crazy. I will start here with my quick UFC picks, though. Hey, we got some more guys in chat. Yo, hype for Canada and USA today. Yeah, me too, man. Super pumped. Biggest game in the last 20 years. It's such a big game. I got both my chains on. I got two chains on today. Call me two chains, man. I'm just so pumped, man. I can't wait. But yeah, I'm just gonna quickly give you guys my UFC picks. If you guys want more in-depth breakdowns of all these fights, make sure you guys go watch my boy Johnny K Picks live stream last night. I was on his show. I was on Defend Your Units, and we went through every single fight. We gave you guys a parlay at the end. And yeah, obviously that stream has more of an in-depth breakdown on how I feel about the fights. But for now, I'm just gonna quickly run down super fast and give you guys my picks. Eichel 5-0 Canada. Eichel's on Team USA. I don't know how it would be 5-0 if if Eichel does good, but yeah, that'd be sweet. 2 Chains, let's go. Man, it's crazy. He used to be called Titty Boy. I wish he would have kept that name. That was a pretty funny name. I like 2 Chains. My boy, keep it a buck media. Let's go. Hey, what's up, dude? My boy's been killing it. Make sure you go follow my boy, Keep It a Buck Media on Instagram and on Twitter and on YouTube. Man, my boy's cashing NBA like crazy, man. I see you, bro. Good work. Good job. Yeah, really quick, guys. UFC Seattle, not a ton of fights, and I'll go through them really quick. First fight of the night, Bukauskas versus Sakara. Going with Bukauskas. My favorite bet on that fight is to over 1.5. I see now it's at minus 130. I would have liked it at minus 110, but even then, I think it goes over 1.5. I think Modestas wins. Crazy that he's a huge favorite. I don't think he's that good of a fighter to be that big of a favorite. But Sakara had probably the worst debut I've ever seen in my life. He just got whooped for like 30 seconds and then got knocked out, or they called the fight. But yeah, Bukauskas, probably late finish or decision in that fight. I'd rather bet the over than his money line. Up next, Ruzaboyev versus Eric McConico. Guy's making his debut. Was supposed to actually fight here in Vegas tomorrow night at Tough Enough. So he was booked for a fight. He's not on short notice. He had a full camp. Ruzaboyev at minus 300, something I would not like to be betting on, but I do think he wins this fight. I just like his size, is able to manage his ability to manage distance. And yeah, I think he wins that fight. So give me Ruzaboyev. That line's crazy. Kind of a theme for this card. A lot of wide lines. Up next, we have Nikolai taking on Austin Vanderford. It's a pick 'em right now. I'm going with Nikolai at minus 110. I respect Austin's grappling, man. I think he's a very good grappler, but I just don't really trust his durability. I think he can get hurt on the feet. And Varenikov hits hard, man. He's a very dynamic striker. Obviously, the game plan here for Austin will be to grapple. Good fight. Short notice fight for both these guys. Like, they got thrown on the card very late throughout the week. The card needed more fights, so they threw this on. But I respect Austin's wrestling, man. I think he's a good grappler. But like I said, on the feet, I think he's a little bit chinny. I think he's a little bit of a liability to be hit on the feet. I don't trust his striking defense. And that's basically all Nikolai can do. So going to be a good fight. If Austin gets a takedown, he'll look like a huge favorite. If not, he'll probably get beat up and knocked out. So my pick for that fight is Nikolai. Up next, we have Ricky Simon versus Javid Basharat. Going with Basharat in this fight, going with Basharat via decision. I just don't think Ricky's looked that good, man. He looked horrible in his last fight against Vinicius. He looked more than horrible. He looked slow. He looked terrible. I don't know what's going on, man. I know he's losing a really good competition. He's on a bad run here against good guys, but man, I just don't see him going out there being the same guy. I know he's in his hometown area. He's from the Pacific Northwest, so that probably will help him here. I will say Javid Basharat at minus 260 is a little bit wide. I do think he wins the fight. I think he's a more well-rounded fighter, but man, I just can't trust Ricky Simon the way he's been looking, man. So until he proves me otherwise, I'm going to have to pass on betting on him. But minus 260 does be a little bit wide on Basharat, but I do think he does enough on the feet. I do like his striking defense a little bit more. They're back in the big cage in the octagon, outside of the apex. So I think that's going to help him big time. And I just trust his striking defense a little bit more than Ricky. Ricky's there to be hit. I don't think he has the best striking defense, and I don't think he's going to be able to get these takedowns over and over like he needs to. Basically, the only way I could see Nicky winning this fight is if he hurts him bad inside the pocket, man. Ricky's a really stout guy, short guy, short little T-Rex arms, and if he catches Basharat in the pocket clean, he could hurt him bad, but I don't think it's going to happen. Basharat decision for me is my pick on that fight. Oh man, up next we have Abdul Malik taking on Nick Klein. I'm going with Abdul Malik minus 1500. It's absolutely hilarious. But honestly, he probably does take this guy down and grabs and pounds him out pretty early, man. Either round one, round two. Actually, my favorite bet for this fight would be Malik round two to win the fight in round two, whether it's knockout or submission. And basically, you're just sweating that he doesn't finish it in the very first round. So my boy Johnny K picks says USA 75, Canada -7. Dang, they're getting negative goals, bro. Don't know how that's gonna happen, but yeah, we'll talk about the game, man. I'm almost done with the UFC picks right here, but then trust me, I got a lot to say about USA versus Canada. Make sure you guys are tuning in for that. Uber High Gaming, I think that's a dog. I can't tell. It's emoji. What's up, Uber High? I'm trying to get Uber High right after this, man. I'm getting Uber High right before I watch that hockey game. So shout out to my boy in the chat. My boy Johnny K Picks says, smash that like, y'all. USA, USA. Yeah, man. Like I said at the beginning of the stream, if you want more in-depth breakdowns of my picks, go check out Johnny K Picks' page. I was on his live stream last night, defender units, and we went through the whole card, and we even gave you guys 2 parlays at the end. So shout out to my boy Johnny. I'll put the link for that show after the show in the description. So yeah, if you want like more like of a breakdown for my picks, go ahead over there. Boys, just salute any action sports. That's what's up. Shout out to Lexicon, my boy. Let's go. Coming through the chat. The T-Rex. Uber High says a T-Rex. He says it's me, Jesse. I know it's Jesse. It's my boy Jesse. That's the plug. That's my plug right there. I'm trying to get Uber High for real though after this. Up next though, we have a featherweight fight, a really good fight. Andre Fili taking on Miskael Costa. It's one of the more closely lined fights on the entire card. For me, I'm going with the underdog. It's my first underdog pick, picking Andre Fili now. It was a picking for most of the week. Now it's around a little bit plus 105, plus 100. So slight plus money on Andre Fili. Going to be a great fight. Probably the fight I'm looking forward to most on the card. But I can see Fili using these takedowns and getting on top of Costa. Costa himself actually has been trying to grapple a little bit more in his fights, but I just think there's 2 different level of fighters here, man. I think Fili's been fighting way higher level fighters than Costa. I think Costa throws a ton of more kicks, and he's very good with his kicks, and that probably will help him in this fight. But Fili, unless he gets hurt, man, the durability worries me for sure from Fili. He's been hurt to the body. He's been hurt to the chin. He is suspect to get knocked out and clipped here. But it just feels like a fight where the minute winner will be Fili, and the moment winner has to be Costa for him to win that fight. So a very good fight, high-level fight. Pick him for a reason, but I'm going with the underdog. Give me Fili to win that fight via decision. And up next is a fight that's super volatile, in my opinion. We have Ion Cutelaba taking on Ibo Aslan. I'm going with Aslan here at -180. I wish that line was a little bit better. But yeah, I just can't trust Ion Cutelaba at this point in his career, man. This guy's been reckless his whole UFC run. You can't trust him. He's not durable. He doesn't wrestle when he needs to, and he goes and wrestles when he doesn't need to. If you get submitted by Johnny Walker, man, I'll never bet on you in my life. He's so bad. He's going out there and fake getting knocked out to draw the guy in, and then the ref calls the fight. We all know him for that against Magomed Ankalaev. But Ibo, basically, if he gets taken down, I think he's going to look like a huge underdog in this fight. I think if Cutelaba goes out there with the wrestle-heavy game plan early in this fight, he's going to look like a big favorite. But that's the thing. If he does do that, I think that actually will gas him out a little bit earlier than he needs to be, and that actually might hurt him in the end. So I think Ibo hits hard, man. At -180 does seem a little bit too much, a little bit of an unproven guy, in my opinion. To be close to -200 against Cutelaba that's had that experience in the UFC against high-level guys. So I wouldn't bet that fight. If anything, I'm picking Ibo. I'm picking him to win that fight. But I'm interested to see if Ion Cutelaba decides to wrestle in that fight. So for me, my pick is Ibo. I think he knocks him out in that second round. Up next, we have Alonzo Menefield taking on Julius Walker. This is probably my most confident pick. I'm going with Menefield here, man. I think he can hurt this guy Walker on the feet. I think he can take him down whenever he wants, man. Walker seems a little bit undersized to me, even though he's going to be way bigger than Menefield. Menefield's like a little short, stocky, steroided out fighter. But I just think that Walker can take him down, put on his back. He himself wants to grapple. He wants to grapple Menefield. I think that's going to be really hard. He's a really muscular guy with good takedown defense, and he hits hard. So I think Menefield has a chance to hurt him on the feet, and he has a chance to win minutes by taking him down and staying on top. So for me, my pick is Menefield. And, man, Julius Walker, he was supposed to fight some straight-up bum, and then take this fight on short notice. So we'll see. My boy, the Eaglewood Rose, the Anglewood Rose, says Cejudo versus the Thong Song. Yeah, the main event, we got Song Yudong going against Henry Cejudo. That's going to be a good one. Lexicon says Costa is a can. I don't know if I would call him a can, but I like his striking, right? I don't think he's that bad of a striker. He's probably not the best grappler, and he's super small and skinny for the division, man. I think he could probably make a weight class lower. I think he's pretty thin. Walker looked like Charlie Olives out there subbing Zion. Yeah, or Ion. He probably meant Ion Cutelaba, but yeah, he did. He made him look like a beef. That was crazy. How you gonna get chucked by Johnny Walker? That's crazy. Yeah, you see exactly. Ion. Show everyone Julius who Julius was to fight. Yeah, do me a favor, guys. Go on Tapology and look up at Julius Walker. I don't know how to pull up on my thing. I'm not that good with StreamYard, but if you look at who Julius was supposed to fight before this fight, he was going to fight an absolute bum. The guy looked like a bag of milk. The guy was like 3-5, and now to go from that to fighting someone like Alonzo Menifield, I don't think he's ready. So, yeah, I'm super confident in Menifield. I think he wins that fight. And we're getting close to the end of the prediction, guys. And then we're going to talk about USA versus Canada. Drop your comments. Let me know who you have, any bets you have, and trust me, I'll let you know what I have here in a second. So up next, we have a banger of fight: Gene Silva versus Baghdasaryan. Going with Silva here, I feel like that line's a little bit wide. Minus 550 is kind of crazy, but he probably is better everywhere, man. I think he can grapple Baghdasaryan. Baghdasaryan has been out-grappled by pretty much everyone's ever fought. And then Silva hits like a truck. So, I mean, Baghdasaryan does have good striking. That's basically all he does well. But I think that Gene Silva is just a better fighter, man. Huge step down in competition for Gene Silva. All the hype's on him. It reflects it in the line. So, man, minus 550 is a little bit wide for me, but I do think he wins that fight. I think he's better in every area, of MMA. My boy Lexicon says, Mark Courier, eh? I think that's his name, man. Look it up, though. Do yourself a favor, and you're going to laugh when you see this guy's typology picture. Like, it's bad, man. He looks like a guy, like, straight up off the street. It's pretty crazy. Budai's little bro. Yeah, dude. Martin Budai. He does look like Martin Budai, but, like, maybe 20 pounds lighter. My boy Claw Ride says, a bag of milk. Yeah, dude. He needs to get in the gym. The guy that he was supposed to fight is fat, straight up fat. Not good. Not good. Up next, we have a catchweight fight, short notice fight here between Rob Font and Gene Matsumoto. Matsumoto's taking the place of Dominic Cruz. This was going to be Dominic Cruz versus Rob Font, and what was going to be Dominic Cruz's retirement fight. Dominic got injured, so then he just straight up retired. So that sucks for him. What a legend. Really sad to see that. But going with Gene Matsumoto in this fight, I just gotta go with the younger guy at this point. 37-year-old at bantamweight, guys, is basically a death sentence. I'm not betting on you at 37 years old in this weight class. I think that he's been in way too many wars. There's way too much damage taken at this point in his career. And I think that Matsumoto can match him in every area of MMA. I think he's on the feet good enough to outpoint Rob Font. Rob Font has really good boxing, but that's basically it. I think Matsumoto can mix it in way better than Rob Font, whereas Rob Font basically only has hands. And if anything, Rob Font will be the one trying to take down Gene Matsumoto in this fight, in my opinion. But even then, I don't think he will be able to, man. I think Rob Font can be taken down by suspect grapplers. I mean, Corey Sandhagen was taking down Rob Font 7 times in that fight, and he had a torn tricep. I don't know about you guys, but if you're getting taken down by a guy with one arm, that's a bad look in my opinion. So, yeah, I'm going with Gene Matsumoto. The short notice does kind of worry me here for Gene. But I think he should win that fight, man. I think he's a rifle favorite at minus 160. I really like the Ibo Aslan Anthony Hernandez parlay this event plus 125. Yeah, that's going to be a good one, man. I'll actually talk about that fight right now. We have Brendan Allen taking on Anthony Hernandez. Super confident in Hernandez here. I think he out grapples him pretty much the whole fight. I think that Brendan Allen's best chance to win is to knock this guy out early or outpoint him on the feet. But even then, I just don't think it's going to happen because Anthony's going to be taking him down, man. These guys have already fought before in LFA. This is a rematch. And I think that Brendan Allen is too reliable on accepting bottom position. I think he ends up on his back and just stays there. I think he's going to be working his jiu-jitsu too much in this fight and not trying to get up. I think that he gasses out. He looked really bad against Imavov. Well, granted, I do give Allen a break. He is fighting high-level guys, toward the top of the division, but he's not looking that good, man. He looked really bad in his last fight, so I can only go off, your recent tape. And if anything, Anthony's looking like an absolute beast, man. This guy is like a Mexican Dagestani. It's crazy. It's funny because Brendan Allen's cardio is a little bit suspect, whereas Hernandez actually uses his cardio as like a weapon. Like if you get tired against this guy, man, good luck. So I think that as the fight goes, Anthony's going to look more and more of a favorite. And I can trust his wrestling, man. I feel like I love the fact that I can rely on him to wrestle. If he doesn't go out there and wrestle, I'll be shocked. But there's no way he doesn't. So I think he outgrapples Brendan Allen and either wins via submission at some point or just wins a 30-27. Back to your comment, though, I agree. Because Ian Cutelaba, definitely someone you want to fade. And then Brendan Allen in this specific matchup is definitely someone you want to fade. So, yeah, I actually like that parlay, man. Plus 125 is a pretty good price. Now it's time for the main event, guys. Do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't. Thanks to all you guys coming through in the chat so far. And we'll talk about the Canada-USA game right after this fight. We have Henry Cejudo taking on Song Yadong. I'm going with Song Yadong in this fight. Minus 270 is a little bit wide. I wish it was a little bit lower. But I just think he's a better athlete at this point in his career, man. I think that Henry is obviously going to be shooting these takedowns. And one thing that Henry does when he fights, man, he darts in and out of the pocket. He's jumping in and out of the pocket. And against someone like Song Yadong, who's very fast, man, I think that's going to hurt him big time. People forget, though, Henry Cejudo took a round off Marab. He won a round against Marab. He won a round against Aljo Sterling. Those are two different type of fighters here. Song Yadong is more of a striker, obviously. But it's not like Henry's completely washed, right? It's not like we're sitting here thinking, oh, he's going to get knocked down in 2 seconds, or like, oh, he's brittle, like he's old. Like he's still got some juice, in my opinion. So I wouldn't be shocked to see him look good in this fight. It's a 5-round fight, and I think that helps Henry. But I think that Song has a good enough defensive grappling to keep him off as the fight goes. One thing that we'll say, Song Yudong got taken down by Peter Yan in his most recent fight, and that was a bad look, not just because he got taken down, but for the fact that Peter actually tore his ACL at some point in that fight and still was able to get late takedowns in that fight with one working leg. So that's never a good look. But I will give Song a little bit of credit. Peter Yan's takedowns are super unique and they're super dynamic in the clinch. He loves his trips, whereas Henry, he's shooting takedowns and guys are stuffing and then they get to the cage. Once they get to the cage, Henry's one of the best cage wrestlers in the UFC, and basically ever. And he's able to take him down from there. So I think Song's going to be able to stuff that initial shot and then from there have to work the cage grappling and then try to not end up on his back. So I'm thinking Song Yudong hurts him. I think the better shots come from Song Yudong. Yeah, and I'm just going with the way younger guy, 38-year-old, going against a 27-year-old. The guy go with Song Yudong. Shout out to my boy in China. Going with Song Yudong, though. Minus 260, don't love it, though. But now it's time, guys. It is time to talk about the biggest hockey game in the last 40 years. Team USA taking on Canada. And I got to say, guys, I have a huge bet, big bet. 2 units. For me, $220 is 2.2 units to win one on Team Canada. Let's go, Canada. I took them to win this game, and I feel confident, man. I know a lot of people out there are nervous or they're scared about the game or they don't know which way it's going to go. I think Canada kills this team. I think Canada goes out there and makes it look super easy. My final prediction is 4-2 final Canada, and here's why, guys. Everyone wants to talk about obviously the loss. Canada lost to USA in Canada, in Montreal, in front of their home crowd, and USA looked good, right? The 3 fights in the first 9 seconds and crazy energy, blah, blah, blah. But, man, they didn't have Cale Makar, guys. Cale Makar is the best defender on the planet. I will say, if anyone out there knows Quinn Hughes, watches hockey, Quinn Hughes is up right there with him. Quinn Hughes is American. The Americans don't have Quinn Hughes. Not having Quinn Hughes for America is a huge loss. But even so, the Canadians played that game against USA without Cale Makar. Now, USA is playing this game without Quinn Hughes or Charlie McAvoy. Charlie McAvoy was the best defender for Team USA in that game that they lost against, that the USA beat Canada in. And I think the big factor is going to be in the power play, guys. If the USA makes a penalty, you are going to notice the difference of having Cale Makar on that power play than without having him. And one thing I will say, in that first game, that third fight, JT Miller takes a fight. He makes a dumb penalty, dumb call, immediately puts Canada on the power play, right? Credit to the USA because they killed that power play right at the beginning of the game. Would have been a huge deficit to be down so early. And they did well. The power play kill unit did well, and they defended it. They killed it off, and they continued playing. But if you watch that kill, McAvoy was all over the ice. He was on the ice for about 1 minute and 40 seconds of that power play and defending well. Now they don't have him. And then you look at the play where he laid out Connor McDavid. Connor McDavid scores on them, takes it right up the middle of the ice, scores on Hullabaloo. Then about 10 minutes later, he gets cracked, leveled by Charlie McAvoy. That's not going to happen in this game, guys. They're not going to have their best defender for Team USA. Now, which brings me to the goalies. 100%, without a doubt, the USA has the better goalie in this game. Carter Hullabaloo is an absolute wall. This guy is a savage. It is so hard to score against this guy, for one, but it's so hard to score on him again. To think that you're going to get 2 to 3 goals against him is tough. And that's what brings me to the over and under. The total right now is 5.5. And I was talking to someone on Twitter today because it's interesting. While on one hand, these types of games, the championship games, the closeout games, game sevens, they tend to be tight. They tend to go under. Like a lot of game sevens are 2-1, 1-0, 3-2. And it's because the guys tighten up so much on defense and also on offense. They don't want to make a mistake. They don't want to be the guy that turns the puck over and leads to a goal. And I think it's going to happen again. I think that Hullabaloo, having him in this game does lead me to believe it's going to be an under, but so much firepower on both teams, not just Canada but also USA. There's so much good players on the ice that it's so risky betting the under because at any moment, either team can score twice in like 90 seconds. They're that good. A penalty here and there, and you're sweating on the total. For me, I'm on Canada money line. And I also like Connor McDavid plus 300 to win the tournament's MVP. If Canada wins, Connor McDavid is going to get the MVP. If USA wins, Hullabaloo plus 250 to win MVP. If he's going to win it. I just don't see a world where if the USA wins, Connor Hullabaloo doesn't get the MVP. He will get the MVP. But I have to say a couple more things. So far, throughout the whole 4 nations, I've watched every single game. Each country play each other one. So far, I have a fun fact, a stat for you guys. I know my boy Johnny's watching. I know he's on USA. So far, the best 4 lines, 3 of them are Canadian, and the last one's USA. The fourth most efficient line so far in the whole entire tournament is Kachuk, Eichel, Kachuk. That's a great line. That's a top line for USA. So far, they've scored 1 goal and given up 0 when they're on the ice. The next best line, Marchand, Point, Jarvis. That's Canada. They've scored once and given up 0. After that, the next best line, Stone, McDavid, Point. That they've scored twice and given up 0 goals. And then the best line so far in the tournament, Crosby, McKinnon, Reinhart. They've scored 3 times and given up 0. So you're telling me the 3 out of the 4 best lines in the entire tournament are on Canada's team? Guys, they only have 4 lines total. That's 3 out of the 4 lines of the best lines in the whole tournament. This is crazy. And they're getting their best defender back, guys. I'm telling you, Canada is going to kill the USA tonight, and they're going to make it look easy. There's no way they're going to go to Canada in Montreal, lose to USA, and they get embarrassed again in Boston. There's absolutely no way, man. I feel like these guys are going to come out like a rocket. If you watch them in their last game, they scored so easily early on in that game, and they kind of let the Finland team come back at the end there late. But man, I'm just so confident that Canada's going to come up here and show out. We have the president of the United States tweeting at them, talking about they're going to be the next 51st state. Like, there's just no way. Why would you do that? That's locker room, motivation. Like, there's no way. You don't think these guys are going to be juiced? Absolutely no way. They have Cale Makar. They don't have Quinn Hughes. They don't have Charlie McAvoy. I'm telling you guys, Canada is going to school these guys. Makar being in the lineup is huge. I'm biased Abs fan, I admit, dude. And they got Nate Dogg. Bro, I want to have Nate Dogg on my side. I want to have Connor McDavid on my side. I want Mark Stone on my side. I want Sidney Crosby on my side. I want Cale Makar on my side. Like, this is crazy. This team is so stacked. But Eric is right. There's a few Avs players on this Canadian team. And yeah, I mean, he's a beast. Cale Makar. I'm a big Canucks fan, so I'm a little bit biased toward Quinn Hughes. I just think he's amazing. But yeah, Cale Makar, no doubt, number 1 defender in the world. My boy Saba says Jack Eichel will play with Canada like the local Molinas did with Justin Trudeau. Whoa. Don't know what that means, but hey, Eichel hasn't scored. I will say he was one of my favorite props, goal scorer props here. I think he was like plus 300 actually today to score. Hasn't scored yet in the tournament. Him and Austin Matthews are the 2 USA guys I'm looking at to bet anytime goal scorers, because their odds are insane and they just haven't gotten that yet. They haven't scored yet this tournament, and they've had their chances, man. Eichel's hit the post a couple times. Yeah, and I think we'll have a chance here today. My boy says, get them, Effie, let's go. I got to let them know, man. Canada's going to win. Canada's going to win, and they're going to make it look easy. He says, kill, sheesh. My boy Johnny says, kill, sheesh. He doesn't believe me, man. You'll see, though. You'll see the truth here soon. Lexicon with an emoji. Yeah, Johnny K. Pick says, ha, ha, ha. Donnie playing mind games, man. That's what's crazy about this game. This game is taking on a whole different meaning now. Like, before, it was just USA Canada versus Canadian hockey, and now it's like a whole political thing. Now it's like tariffs, like it's just crazy, man. It's just been crazy. My boy Johnny K Pick says USA wins 3-2 in regulation. Mark it. No way, man. No way. Who's gonna score? Who's scoring then for USA? Who's gonna get through? Because if you watch that game, McDavid dog walked McAvoy. He walks him right through the center of the ice, and that's what it really makes me like Canada, man. They control the center of the ice way better than the United States. The United States are tougher. They are bigger. They are more physical, in my opinion, and they can match them in speed. But I just think that the finesse of the Canadian players is so good, man. That top line is so good. Like I said, guys, they have the 3 out of the 4 best lines in the entire tournament. Like, they're so good, and I don't want to be betting against them. They already lost once to USA, and there's just no chance they lose twice. Beating a team twice in this short amount of time in this style of tournament, man, it's tough. I don't think so, man. I don't think it's going to happen. Bash Bros and Larkin goals. Hey, Dylan Larkin's had a great tournament, man. He's had like some really good shifts, and he's been a low-key kind of a star here for USA. I don't know, though. One of the Kachucks is all banged up. I think it's Brady. Brady slid into the net against, I think it was the Finland team. And got hurt, so he'll play, but he won't be 100%. But yeah, man. Anyone else have any questions in the chat, man? So far, I'm gonna write it in the thing. Canada money line under 1.5 goals first period. Fuck, it's hard to type with one hand. And then McDavid, MVP plus 300. Those are my bets, guys. Canada money line under 1.5 goals in the first period, and McDavid MVP plus 300. I can see Hellebuyck going full on Hasek and dominating, but yeah, sadly on Canada. Yeah, that would suck. That would suck. Everyone wants to talk about, oh, he sucks in the playoffs. Oh, he's always getting killed in the Stanley Cup playoffs, which is true, man. He does, for some reason, suck in the playoffs. I was talking to my buddies who watch baseball. Basically, Hellebuyck is like Clayton Kershaw. Like, he's one of the best ever in the regular season, but for some reason, whatever reason, when the playoffs come, he just plays bad. Obviously, this isn't the NHL playoffs. This is a different tournament, but yeah, that would suck, man. Like, if I was an American and I am American, but like if I was betting on America, I would just love having Hellebuyck. That's all I would think about, which is how I have Connor Hellebuyck on my side. I wouldn't care about McDavid, even though he already scored on him. I wouldn't think about McKinnon or Crosby being 37 years old. I would just think about, oh my God, I have Connor Hellebuyck. That's all I need to think about. He's so good. I do like Helly MVP bet, though. Gonna sprinkle that. Yeah, because, dude, if America wins, there's zero chance he doesn't get it. I mean, I think Eichel has a chance, but Eichel and Larkin are the only ones that could probably steal it from him. If Larkin has a huge win or a huge goal in this game, I can see him snagging it from Hellebuyck, but that would just mean Hellebuyck played well. Like, there's just no way. One thing that I didn't like from USA in that first game, bro, was they just couldn't get shots. They got outshot. Like, when the game ended, they ended up having less shots on goal than Canada. And I just feel like if they had more shots on goal against someone like Bennington, they would have scored way more, dude. Like, it's obviously tough when the ice is so hard to get through. The defense on both teams is just so stacked and so good and so deep that obviously you're not going to have a lot of chances. It's a super tight game. And we've seen it throughout the tournament. The first period is kind of explosive. The second period is a little bit boring and slow. And then that third period, anything can happen. So, like, the middle of the game usually does slow down, get tight, and it leads to less goals. In the early part of the game, the energy is going to be so high. Everyone's going to be moving like crazy. So that's probably when the goals happen. But I mean, yeah, Hellebuyck plus 250, plus 245 MVP. It's not bad, man. It's on DraftKings, and got my DraftKings shirt right here. Make sure you use that book and get that MVP. And would Holland score for Team USA? No, he would get destroyed. But he is the GOAT of soccer. Shout out to Man City, the best team ever assembled. Not this year, but just in general. Shout out to Man City. They're the GOATs. McDavid plus 300 for MVP. Yep. I'm taking USA, dude. May the best team. It probably means may the best team win. Yeah, it's going to be Canada. Sorry to tell you, bro. Sorry to tell you. It's going to be Canada. Super confident. Not even an ounce of doubt in my body. I don't think it's gonna be close, man. I don't think it's gonna be close. Yeah, may the best team win. Yeah, he got it. He's gassed by the time the playoffs come around. He does play a lot. I will say that. You're right. He does play a lot. But isn't it crazy, man? He'll go like 40 games in a row without giving up more than 3 goals. Like, straight up just won't give up more than 3 goals. Like, it's insane. It's so hard to score on this guy. It's crazy, man. I would feel so happy if I had him on my side, but luckily I have McJesus instead. Are you sure you're American FB talking up Canada like you are? Hey, man, money is money. The Benjamins will be green either way, or they might be blue. I like when they're blue too. But yeah, $220 on Canada to win 200 here. Feeling confident. Whoa, what am I hearing? Oh, that was probably about the Man City stuff. Nah, I'm joking, man. I don't know shit about soccer. If anyone knows soccer, hit me up. I'm trying to learn more. Johnny's laughing. Lexicon's laughing. But yeah, that's it, guys. Quick little stream here. We got about half an hour until the game starts. It says 5 o'clock, but what's gonna happen is they're gonna play the anthems and stuff, and that takes like low-key like 15 minutes. It's kind of annoying. But man, they're gonna boo so hard for Oh Canada. Oh Canada, our home. They're gonna boo. They're gonna boo so hard, bro. It's gonna be awesome. I'm not happy. I'm like, people don't like it. They're like, oh, you shouldn't boo, blah blah blah. I liked when the Canadians booed us. Like, that's awesome to me. That gets me going. Like, I like stuff like that. So, but yeah, man, it's gonna be so much juice in this game. Biggest game in the last 20 years in the sport of hockey. Bigger than Game 7s, World Cups, all that stuff, man. This is huge. USA Hockey is here. They have arrived, and this could be the biggest win for them ever, really, other than beating the Russian team. So, man, it's gonna be good, man. Shout out to my boy Jack Eichel, Noah Hannafin, Golden Knights on the Team USA, and I'm rooting for him, but I don't think it's gonna happen. My boy says, "Good luck, everyone. USA, USA." Is it held in the Bruins Arena? Yeah, it is. It's in Boston, which is funny because they're like rivals with the Toronto Maple Leafs, and the Maple Leafs star players from Scottsdale, Arizona, which is also kind of crazy because it's super hot there. But so they boo him like every time he's there, And so for the first time, they actually will be cheering for Austin Matthews, which is kind of funny. But yeah, it's in the Bruins Arena. Bennington has won a Game 7 Stanley Cup final in Boston, so no worries there for me. But yeah, it's in Boston. a nice appetizer for the Olympics, dude. It's gonna be good, man. Have they announced if they're letting Russia in? Because if they don't let Russia in, that'd be low key super weak, man. Um, Russia definitely should be playing these tournaments. There's so many good hockey players. Kucherov's one of my favorite players ever. I mean, the goalies that they have are insane. Russia would be good, man. Russia would be a tough test for either team. But I like the 4 teams that they chose. I mean, Finland, Sweden. Dude, Sweden, like, everyone's crapping on them. They're the only team that didn't lose in regulation this tournament. They just came up short. They almost beat Canada, almost beat them in overtime. They had a couple good looks, too, in overtime. How about Elias Pettersson not doing anything on tournament? That's kind of crazy. Who are your goal scorer predictions? For USA, my 2 favorite are Jack Eichel and Austin Matthews. And then for Canada, I'm going to go with Braden Point and Mark Stone. Mark Stone and Braden Point, 2 for Canada, 2 for USA. Jack Eichel, Austin Matthews. I believe Austin Matthews and Eichel are like plus 300 each. So that's pretty good, man. They haven't scored yet, and I think they're due in this tournament. I think they're going to get a lot of looks. I'm expecting Jack Eichel to get a ton of ice time today, and same thing with McDavid and that McKinnon line. I think McKinnon, Crosby, and who's the third one? McKinnon, Crosby, and McDavid are going to be on the ice, a ton. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Morrissey is out and Hartley is in. Oh man, that is huge for the USA. Wow, no way, no wonder. Yeah, because I saw the line moved in favor of USA. USA's minus 115, Canada minus 105 at my book. Wow, that's crazy. Anyone else for the or I guess on America? Because wow, that's crazy. I liked Morrissey too, man. He's good. He's big. And Hartley actually had some pretty bad shifts when he did play. Fuck, that sucks. This is bad. Whatever. Cale Makar is gonna outweigh that. Whatever. Cale Makar, we got Cale Makar, bro, the best defender in the world, other than Quinn Hughes, probably. But that's crazy. That sucks that that a lineup changed this close to the game. But yeah, unless you guys got any more questions, I'm gonna wrap it up here. I'm gonna get my Coors Lights. Now it's time to enjoy the game, guys. Thanks to you guys for watching. Appreciate your comments. Good luck with your bets. Like I said, Canada money line, McDavid MVP plus 300. Was it plus 300? And then under 1.5 goals in the first period. We need no goals. I'm actually going to be rooting for Connor Hellebuyck a little bit in that first period. So yeah, under 1.5 in the first period. Canada money line, McDavid MVP. Let's do that hockey. Exactly. Let's go. Shout out to Chance the Rapper. All right, guys. I'll see you guys later, and I'll see you guys next week for my UFC predictions. And I'll probably be gloating a little bit. What's the view for NHL this week? Well, I mean, this today is like the biggest thing ever, and then I think they have a day off on Friday, and then there's games again on Saturday. I'm interested to see if like the guys that are in this tournament are going to get a couple games off in the NHL when they come back. But the Canucks are actually in Vegas, man. I actually kind of want to go to that game. I kind of want to make sure Quinn Hughes is playing before I buy my tickets. So that would suck if I buy tickets and Quinn Hughes doesn't play. That would suck, man. Or even Mark Stone and Noah Hannafin, Jack Eichel. They're all there playing tonight. So, I mean, man, the Knights are good. The Knights, Panthers, Lightning, and Avalanche, they're all over these rosters, man. It's crazy. Voice says, yep. Peace out, dude. Yep. All right, man. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next week when I'll be bragging about Canada winning this tournament. Nothing against the USA. I love living here. Shout out to Freebird. But it ain't happening, boys. The dream's over, and it's Canada's time. So let's go, Canada, and I'll see you guys next week. Peace.